back. We're going to do Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 13. This is one of my least favorite episodes, is when they go back and they revisit their past and they have to share it with their new spouse. So, let me see. I don't remember Shaq and Kirsten reading each other letters. She took him back to her house and talked about how there were 3 of them in one bedroom, a brother and a sister and her parents in their room. And then she talks about how her dad was a provider. I don't understand how that's providing when you got 3 kids sleeping in one room, number one. And then number 2, she has given me the impression that when they broke up, that her quality of life changed. And that's not a provider either. If you're going to provide, then your kids should be able to count on being able to have a place to stay. They should be able to count on having lights on and food, and whatever they need, to grow, whether the man is in the house or not. So I don't think that happened with Kirsten, and I don't understand why she is holding her father up as somebody like a hero when I'm not getting hero. So there's a disconnect that's happening there. And it sounds like she wants to superimpose those responsibilities onto Shaq. And I do understand, because she said in her interview with Dr. Pepper and Dr. Cal that she wanted a provider and a protector. That is clipped down there under the flashback. I think it says Jasmine was prescient in her interview or something like that. I think that's the clip that is on. And the way that she talked to Shaq about wanting a house, I thought was very, she really feels entitled to this. And I don't think that she did it in the right way, because if she didn't want a $3 million house, she shouldn't have took him to a $3 million house. And when the man said that he's trying to pay off bills and get to a certain position before he thinks about that next step, she needs to be able to respect that. I didn't hear her offer her income up, because if they combine their incomes, they can be able to qualify for more house. And then too, as a minimalist that Kirsten is trying to convince us that she is, which I am not convinced, she wouldn't buy too much house. She would only buy enough house that she actually needed, and then would be able to graduate. So say, it's just her and Shaq right now. They invest, stay in it, maybe 5 years. So if they have a kid at year 3 in the house, the kid will still be 2 years old, and then they would be ready to move into another house if they were getting ready to have another kid or something like that. But as a minimalist, yeah, she wouldn't want to take up more space than she needs. And when Shaq actually asked her, he gave her that opportunity to include herself. She's like, "No, but I could be on the deed." I'll be on the deed, but you don't get any money out of me. And then what happens if y'all get divorced, Kirsten? I mean, you're trying to get this house. He said that he only has 3 more months left on his lease. So she's insinuating to him that he can go ahead and start the process for buying a house once his lease is about to expire. And then that would put them, 3 months into the marriage, not even 6 months in. So if it didn't work out a year into the marriage, then who's going to get the house? Especially if her name is on the deed. So that don't even make no sense. So Kirsten just needs to pump all of her brakes. She said something to that effect on the after show. So if you go back and you listen to what she said on the after show, it doesn't match what she said on the episode. So she's incongruent. She is a hypocrite, and which is also known as a tear. Biblically, she is a tear. There's nothing I've seen about her that makes me graduate her up to the level of wheat. Aries and Jasmine. Aries sings and he tries to give the impression that he's trying to open up, and he sees that Jasmine is shutting down. I number one, don't care where Aries is at this point. I can't say whether I believe him or not. I thought they wrote good letters to each other. I can't remember. Oh, he took her to a baseball card shop, and I don't know where she took him. I can't remember where she took him. But he did a lot of communicating, and even Jasmine admitted in her outtakes that she felt that he was being vulnerable. And when she was talking to Shaq, she said that she felt that he was being more vulnerable and giving her information that she had wanted, earlier in the process. And so her and Shaq had a good conversation after the group activity that he had planned for the four of them. And everybody says that Aries was looking, what's her face, Kirsten, in her eye. I only saw like one frame where he was looking up at her. He was asking her a question. I don't remember anything else to give me any indication that his gaze at her was any different or better than it was, towards Jasmine. But they broke, so after the game that they played, they broke off, and Shaq and Jasmine were talking, and then Kirsten and Aries, were having that conversation. And on the after show, I thought his conversation was a little interesting. I like Nicole on that, so I invite you guys to go down there and check out the after show. What is it? Clint and Gina. Clint finally said something positive about Gina and her dedication to her salon, and he could have did that the whole time instead of having to backtrack to get here. And now he's got people talking about how tired they are of hearing her talk about her salon, and are accusing her of coming on the show just so that she could promote her salon. So we'll see how this all works out, for Clint. I'm glad he finally gave positive affirmation for his wife's work, and that matches the Clint that said that he could be the dude at home. He said, if you bring home the bacon, then he'll cook it up. Now, see, that aligns. That's the Clint that sounds like beginning Clint. And I hope to see this congruence out of him, for the rest of the season. So Chris and Nicole, they shared, Chris shared his experience with his dad, who owns a paint shop. And he told Nicole about that. I'm not sure if it's clip. I know that the Lifetime clip has Shaq and Kirsten. So I invite you guys to go down there and look at that. They really did a good job. I gave you a piece of it, but they actually put them all together. And I thought that Lifetime did a good job of putting that information together. So go check that out. And Nicole, she took him to like a little Italian place that was in Nashville, and she was telling him about her New York experience, in that kind of neighborhood. So, and then she gave him more information about how she grew up, her relationship with her parents. And so I thought overall this was a good episode of them sharing and still being, a level of vulnerable with each other. They read the letters to one another. I don't remember Gina and Clint reading any letters. Aries and Jasmine read letters to each other. And I don't remember Kirsten and Shaq reading letters to each other. I did appreciate at the end of the episode, and it's going to be that last part on that Lifetime clip where they're in their apartment and Shaq is talking to her while she's eating that salad. And he felt some kind of way when he asked her if she wanted to talk, and she told him no. And that's when he went in on her about eating that salad, which I thought was really interesting, because we just looked at it at the last episode where he couldn't keep food in his mouth and she couldn't keep food in her mouth. But somehow he's bothered because she is munching on a salad. It wasn't the salad. It was the fact that she did not want to have the conversation with him when he wanted to have it and about what he wanted to have it, the topic. And he used the food to try and level her up and give her the indication that he was having a problem. I actually thought that she picked up on that message, but I don't know how effective, that conversation was, because she was deceptive. She told him that she was just kidding. She said she was kidding about the car. Well, I don't think she was kidding about any of it, because like he said, if he tried to buy her a Toyota or a Honda instead of the Mercedes or the Lamborghini, she'd have a problem with that. What is the song? Everything she wants is everything she sees. What is it? Sad Girl. Y'all got to go and check that out. That was funny. But I think that's it with Kirsten. I still don't believe her. I think that she is a gaslighter. I think she got Shaq on the yo-yo. I think that she has him on strings trying to be the puppeteer running this situation. And if Shaq stays with her, then he deserves everything he get. Because there's more to a woman than just beauty. And if he can't get past that, then, like I said, whatever he get out of her, he deserves. Because there's a part in that song that talks about, he says that he knows that she can take, but now he needs to see what kind of giving, that she can do. And I'm telling you, as all I see with Kirsten and Shaq, I mean, I can't see anything but a headache that he would, a permanent migraine headache that he would get staying, with her. Did I talk about everybody? Let me see. Clint, Gina, Eris, Kirsten, and then Chris Nicole. Yeah. So I think that's it. I'm sorry that I don't have, much more than I had, last episode. I've been busy. I've been looking for apartments. I've been still dealing with the insurance company. I have been, I had to go and pick up this cat this morning. He's not happy. He has been through a really traumatic, time. And I'm just trying to keep everything together. Passover is tonight, and I'm going to observe Passover this week. So anybody out there has a prayer, I appreciate you. I am going apartment hunting when I finish this video, and I just really pray that I'm somewhere where it's harmonious, it is life-giving, and it's in line with where the Lord says that, he wants me to be. So if there's somebody out there that can agree and spiritually, come together with me on this, I appreciate, the support. So I appreciate all the new subscribers, and I will see you guys on the next episode.